Hello, welcome to Cull the Weak, Card Talk. I'm Brobnar89.
I'm Shaka.
We're looking today at another Unfathomable card called Maelstrom. It reads, play, put all creatures on top of their owner's deck in a random order. Gain 2 chains. This is a pretty amazing effect, I think. It sounds pretty neat, pretty fun. You're definitely going to want to play this when, your opponent has a bunch of creatures and you don't. And you can just imagine this absolutely decimating big board decks. Having to go through and redraw all of your creatures again is going to be a big pain for anything that has a bunch of creatures in it. Just going to make you super slow, super inefficient. For 2 chains, the cost of 2 chains on your side is definitely going to be worth it. Unless you have a bunch of creatures out yourself. It's definitely going to be worth it. What are your thoughts on this one?
This card looks pretty interesting. I think it's powerful. Kind of draw some comparisons to Hysteria, which will bounce all creatures back to the hand and clog you up for a few turns, clog the opponent up for a few turns, and you potentially replay your cards. So depending on, if there's strong play effects inside Unfathomable or other houses, if you send them back to your deck, you could be repeating those effects. So that's nice. Probably not worth the cost of 2 chains. And as far as efficiency goes, when you're sending creatures back to the owner's deck in a random order, that means you know what they're going to be drawing into for the next few turns and can try to set up against that. Whereas if you just destroyed all the creatures, you lose that information to be able to plan the future turns because they could be drawing into a whole variety of things. 2 chains is a little steep just because you'll also be affected by this card. So ideally you'd play it when they have a lot of creatures and you don't. However, we do know that sometimes you play a gateway or whatever even when you have similar numbers of creatures because they just have some threats that have to be addressed. So Could be situational. I think it's a very powerful card.
Yeah, definitely very situational. I see it punishing Dino decks, punishing Sanctum decks, anything that's got a lot of Amber on the board because it's put all creatures on top of their owner's deck. So it doesn't care about destroyed effects like Ludo's. So you're going to get all that Amber back.
Right. And if your opponent is sitting on Eddies or Infernuses or Ronnies, I don't think you want to play this.
This is going to be a discard. There will be plenty of situations where it's a discard, that's for sure.
But you compare to like Phosphorus Stars, it's way better than that.
Definitely. All right, that is Maelstrom. Come back tomorrow for another episode of Card Talk.